Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T. I do hope you are all well. Just a reminder, if you enjoy this video and or appreciate my work, please smash the like button and please subscribe to the channel. And now, without further ado, let's dig in. 31-year-old singer Liam Payne was dealing with several serious problems before his fatal fall from a hotel balcony in Argentina on October 16th. First, his record label, Universal Music Group, had dropped him. Second, his publicist had resigned. Both of these were significant career setbacks. And I have to believe that when you're suffering from setbacks like that and your career isn't skyrocketing like your former bandmate Harry Styles' career is, that has to be hard to take. It's hard on the ego, especially when you're used to the adoration of hundreds of thousands of fans. And when everybody knows you, everybody recognizes you, everybody thinks you're the shit. The third thing was that Liam's ex-girlfriend and fiancee, Maya Henry, had sent him a cease-and-desist letter that he needed to respond to within days of his death. Henry accused Liam of sending her and her family lewd and explicit photos and videos of himself. Some of the images showed Payne in his birthday suit, if you know what I mean. He was showing off his nether regions and he was doing things to himself. Prior to sending the cease and desist letter, on October 6th, Maya Henry received an Instagram message from a woman claiming that Liam had contacted her about him sending her photos of both Henry and his current girlfriend, Kate Cassidy, and these would have been photos of these two women in their birthday suits. After receiving the message, Henry decided to send a legal notice to Liam, telling him to stop, and that was received by Liam 8 days before his death. Liam legally had to respond within 10 days. It's unclear if he ever did. So if Liam really did send compromising photos of Kate Cassidy, his girlfriend, to this lady via Instagram, that would have been before Kate Cassidy flew home on October 12th without Liam to Miami. Do you think Cassidy knew about Liam's message to this woman and his plan to share intimate and private photos of her along with ones of Maya Henry? Or is Cassidy just now learning about this betrayal? For some reason, this reminds me of those stories where you hear about a spouse dying and then the other spouse looks into their phone and they discover that the spouse who died was having an affair or secretly had another family somewhere. And you're grieving this person, but you're also pissed off at them. So why did Liam allegedly offer these images to this woman? Was he still upset about his breakup with Henry in 2022? And why, if he loved his current girlfriend, Kate Cassidy, so much, would he also betray her by sending intimate photos of her out to the public? Was she already showing him the tough love that she mentioned, and was that upsetting him or making him mad? It all sounds like such childish but also reckless behavior. I mean, Liam was putting his career in jeopardy by doing this. Did he not think that Maya Henry was going to get the cease and desist letter? Did he think that nobody would find out what he was doing behind the curtains like the Wizard of Oz? When you think of the totality of all this, Liam's world, at least to him, must have felt like it was imploding. Did you guys know that Maya Henry actually penned a key novel about her time with Liam Payne? In the book, she gives One Direction and its band members different names. I'm thinking she did this to avoid lawsuits. You have to wonder how Liam Payne felt about this book, this so-called novel. Did that feel like a betrayal to him? Did it make him mad, and is that why he sent these photos photos and videos to her and to her family members, including her mother. By all accounts, including his own, Liam was a troubled person. He'd been to rehab multiple times throughout his short life. In 2023, he spent 100 days in a rehab facility in Louisiana. That stay helped him stay sober for at least 6 months. And then in July of 2024, he entered the infamous Priory in London for a 28-day addiction program, but he only stayed for 48 hours. So at that point, he wasn't extremely devoted to dealing with these problems. We've heard that prior to his fall in Argentina, he was doing some illicit substances, the big C I like to call it, and drinking whiskey. If all of that is true, then Liam had clearly fallen off the wagon. I don't care what anybody says out there that he was sober. No, he wasn't if you listen to what the guests at the hotel had to say. And if you listen to what Kate Cassidy is telling her friends. She said it was getting pretty dangerous, pretty scary, and that's why she left Argentina without Liam, and she was hoping that he would follow her. I think if you look at images of him in the videos showing him interacting with fans in the hotel lobby and outside the hotel, he doesn't look well. He looks very thin. He looks rather disheveled. His mannerisms just seem kind of hyperactive. New footage today has come out showing him sort of stepping out of an elevator at the hotel and talking to a bellboy who reportedly was supplying Liam with certain substances. We know that the toxicology report supports his use of Big C. It was found in his system. Could Liam have fallen from the balcony all by himself because of his state of intoxication? Yes, but if he was high and on something, could that have also made him vulnerable to dealings with not so nice people, some who may have been in his hotel room right before he went off that balcony? Yes. If you've been covering this case, you may recall that a guest at the hotel reported hearing banging and heavy lifting sounds coming from Liam's room prior to the fall. That same guest heard a loud, violent scream. Did Liam scream while alone in the room? Maybe. He sounds like he was upset. Could someone else have been there to cause this violent scream? And did that person or those persons bash in the television set in the room? I mean, it sounds like Liam had plenty of reasons to be upset and breaking things. But we also know that his Rolex is missing. Who took it? Somebody who was interacting with Liam in that hotel room, or somebody who worked at the hotel who just happened to notice it in the room? Liam making that scream because other people were in the room seems more likely to me. Although in my own life, there have been times when I've been alone and I've been so upset that I howled and screamed all by myself. I'll admit that to you. Like the one time I thought that movers had removed a sofa from my home to take it to a consignment warehouse, and I thought my cat might have been inside the sofa. My cat Remy dug holes or like scratched holes underneath furniture, and he figured out that he could hide in there sitting on the wood frame. And the movers had wrapped the sofa in saran wrap, like really tight. So when I couldn't find my baby Remy, I thought he might have been in that sofa when they carted it out of the house. And I had a major meltdown. Later, however, I found him and another of my cats inside a love seat that he had ripped a hole into and climbed in under the love seat, and they were both sitting on that wood frame. As I was frantically calling out their names, hoping they would appear. But instead, they just sat inside there going, la-di-da, la-di-da, who cares, Mama's calling, but we're not going to come out. Back to Liam Payne. Hotel guests have said Liam was upset, smashing his laptop on the floor in the hotel lobby. He'd also passed out in the lobby, and they saw him convulsing in the lobby. And yet, witnessing all this disturbing behavior, nobody intervened to help him. His friend Roger Norris said he was at the hotel 3 times that day. Why did he go there 3 times? That seems excessive. Was he concerned about Liam's state of mind? Did he know that Liam was drinking whiskey and taking the big C? Why didn't Norris call Liam's father and stage an immediate intervention? I know it was in Argentina, but these people are wealthy and they have access to private planes. Now there's another woman who claims she had a brief encounter with Liam. She told the Mirror newspaper that she was taken aback when he confessed that being in a boy band had left him effed up. A fan named Rebecca, who was hanging around Liam's hotel, described him as, quote, desperate for recognition. She said Liam introduced himself to a line of guests waiting for an elevator, shouting, "I'm Liam." But sadly, the guests were not impressed. Per Rebecca, Liam later returned to the lobby with his laptop, and he began using the accessibility setting that reads out emails aloud, seemingly for attention. Rebecca speculated that Liam saw an email that upset him as he shouted, quote, "F this shit, mate." And that's when he started smashing his laptop on the floor. His off-the-wall behavior shocked bystanders at the hotel, according to Rebecca. So she asked him if he was okay, and she said he grunted and then said, "I used to be in a boy band. That's why I'm so effed up." She then watched as Liam re-entered the elevator, and shortly later a British guy came down and he apologized to the guests on Liam's behalf, explaining that he sometimes, quote, gets so high, end quote. This same article in the Mirror said, quote, the singer reportedly jumped from the balcony of his hotel room, leading to his tragic and fatal fall, end quote. The article goes on to say, quote, in an alarming twist to the earlier narrative, police officials confirmed to the Associated Press that the 31-year-old celebrity had jumped from the balcony of his room, clearing up any previous uncertainty about the nature of the incident. Did you hear that? They wrote that he jumped. So if this information is true, then it sounds like Liam deliberately leapt off the balcony. However, we've seen other statements from other newspapers and reporters saying that CCTV footage that hasn't been released to the media captured Liam fainting on the balcony, and that's why he fell from the balcony. So I think there's 3 possibilities. The Associated Press and the Mirror are saying that he jumped. The other reporters said that he fainted and fell accidentally. And the third thing could be that some people might have been there and that there is foul play involved. Here's the video once again of Liam stepping out briefly from the elevator and talking to a hotel staffer who has been charged with drug delivery. The video footage was obtained by TMZ.